Okay, so the agenda of this lecture is that we are doing circles. We are doing circles class 9th ICSI board from Selena publication, and I'll be doing exercise 17D in this lecture. Now this lecture, it is also useful for CBSE students also, because they also have circles. Now if you haven't seen my previous videos, please do see them now. I have prepared lectures of 17A, 17B, 17C, and I've done a lot of theorems and numericals and corollaries also. And if you are an ICSE student, you may find my lecture on stoichiometry useful. My channel partner also has lectures on trigonometry, ICSE board. You can have a look at that also. I'll be putting the details of these lectures in the description and at the end of the video also. Okay, so let's start. So question number 1 of exercise 17D is as follows. There's a circle. Now the circle has a radius of 13 centimeter. There is a chord which is of length 24 centimeter. You have to find the distance of the chord from the center. Distance of chord AP from center O. Now what you need to understand and what you need to remember is, I'll just erase this. Always remember that the distance between a point and a line, is the perpendicular distance between these two. So what I mean is that if this is a point P and this is a line, let us assume AB. Now the distance between the point and this line will always be, by definition, it will always be the perpendicular distance. I hope this is clear. So this distance, by default, if somebody tells you to find a distance between a point and a line, by default what he is trying to tell you is, or what he is trying to ask you is, that give me the distance of PM. What is PM? And you can take it for granted that PM is perpendicular to AB. That goes without saying. So basically this OQ is the distance. Now again, if you have seen the previous videos and if you are aware of the theorems that this chapter has, you will understand that this is radius, so these two are equal. This is a perpendicular distance, so triangle OAQ is congruent to triangle OQP. Why? Because I have a hypotenuse here, I have a right angle here, I have a common side here. So by RHS these two triangles are congruent, and therefore this side is equal to this side. Now when these two sides are equal, this total length is 24. Therefore this will be 12. Now this is 12, this is 13. So we have a Pythagorean triplet. So this will be 144, this will be 169, and this will be 5. Or you can say, if you don't understand Pythagorean triplets, what you can say is that if you want to use Pythagoras theorem, so by Pythagoras theorem you can say that OQ will be square root of OP square minus QP square, and if you put the relevant lengths, you will find OQ as 5 centimeter. I hope this is clear. Okay, now let's go to the question number 2. Prove that equal chords of congruent triangles. So what is, I'll make some space here. So first we will understand that what are congruent triangles. Congruent triangles are two triangles which are equal to each other. Now if triangles are equal to each other, what basically this implies is that these are the two circles whose radius is the same. So this circle, if I name it as 1, and this circle, both these circles would be having radius r. So this is the meaning of congruent triangles, congruent circles. Okay, so what it says is that equal chords of congruent circles, these two chords are equal. So PQ chord is equal to RS chord. So this is given. Both these things are given. Now what is being asked is that prove that the angle subtended at the center, so this angle which this chord subtends at the center is equal to angle subtended by the center, angle subtended at the center by this chord RS. Okay, again simple question. Now this is radius, this is radius, this is radius, this is radius. The length of the chords are equal. So if I assume this to be L, again this will be L. So triangle P, if I say this is O and I say this is O dash, so POQ is congruent to triangle RO dash S by simple SSS. Therefore by CPCT what I have is that angle theta is equal to beta. I hope this is also clear. Okay, let's go to the question number 3. Question number 3, interesting question, says draw two circles of different radii. Now these two circles, they have different radii. So R1 is not equal to R2. Different radii. Okay. Now it says how many points these circles can have in common. Points they can have in common. See, there are few cases. The first case A, will be that this circle and this circle do not intersect. Now if they don't intersect, common point is 0. Case 2, if they touch, so this is a circle and this is a circle, now they touch, so the common points are 1. Case 3 would be that these two circles they intersect. This is case C. Now when they intersect, the common points would be 2. I hope this is also clear. And case 3 might be, again I have this circle and maybe I can have this case again. They can again touch here. Again the common point is 1. Now this is same as this. This is case A, case B, case C, this is case D. Now let us take another case. I'll make some space here. Case E. Case E can be that the circle can be wholly inside. Now here again the common point is 0. There is no common point. Now one thing that you need to understand is that one thing that you need to understand is, because the radii of the two circles are unequal, so this is a circle and this is a circle, their radii are different. It is only when the radii are same, that is, if radii of these two circles are same, that is, say for example this is 5 centimeter and this is 5 centimeter, then I can have a case where the two circles coincide. I hope this is clear. This is circle A, this is circle B, and here A and B coincide. Now only when they coincide and if their radii are equal, then the common points will be infinite. I hope this is clear. Let us go to question number 4. The question says, suppose you are given a circle. Now I have been given this circle. Describe a method by which you can find the center of the circle. Find its center. Again, a pretty interesting question. So what you do is, you draw any two chords. You draw any two chords of any measure, A, B, C, D. Now A, B and C, D are any two chords. The length of the chords do not matter. And what you do is, you draw a perpendicular bisector. What do you draw? You draw a perpendicular bisector. Now how do you draw a perpendicular bisector of a line? This is a line. So I open an arc which is more than the half of this. You would have done this in geometry in, I think, class 7th or 8th. So you draw an arc here. You draw an arc here. Again, with this as center, you draw an arc here and you draw an arc here, and you join this line. I hope you remember in the lower classes you would have done. So this line PQ will be perpendicular bisector. Perpendicular bisector implies that this angle is 90 and this line PRQ also bisects this line AB. Now if you have understood how we draw perpendicular bisector, another interesting thing that you will notice about this perpendicular bisector is, another interesting thing that you'll notice is that all the points on this perpendicular bisector, they are equal from the two edges of the line. I hope this is clear. These two distances, this is equal to this, this is equal to this, this distance is equal to this. All these distances will be equal. This will be equal to this. This will be equal to this. Now just remember this, because again I'll draw a perpendicular bisector of this line. How do I draw? Again I take from this as center and this as center, and I'll open my my compass more than half, and I draw an arc here, an arc here, again with this center an arc here and an arc here. I'll join these two lines. I hope it is clear. So this PQ is perpendicular to AB. Again for CD I'll draw a perpendicular bisector, and I hope it is clear. I'll just draw the perpendicular bisector. So this is how I draw perpendicular bisector. This perpendicular bisector, let us write this as, name this as MN. So MN is a perpendicular bisector of CD. Now the point where PQ and MN meet, the point where PQ and MN meet, this point. Now if you observe this point closely, this is a unique point because I'll try to explain. I hope I am able to explain it well. This point O is equidistant from this and this point. Why? Because this point lies on this perpendicular bisector. I hope it is clear. Again, this point O also lies on the perpendicular bisector MN, and therefore this distance would be equal to this distance. And I hope it is pretty obvious that this distance, this distance, this distance, this distance are equal, and therefore O would be the center of this circle. I hope you are able to understand the logic. Okay, let us go to the next question. Question number 5. Given two equal chords AB and CD. Now these two are equal chords. AB and CD are equal chords. Prove that AP is equal to CP. There is a mistake here. AP is equal to CP. So A, B, C, D. Yeah, this point is P. So I need to prove that AP, this, is equal to this CP. I have been given that the chords AB is equal to CD. So if the chords are equal and you have done the previous exercises, assume that this is the midpoint. Now the line joining the midpoint and this center is the perpendicular by theorem. Again, assume that this is a midpoint. Now this is a construction. Again, I join this point F with the center of the circle. Again, this is 90 degree. I'm using the theorems mentioned in the chapter. Now I need to prove that AP, this AP is equal to CP. I'll mark this. I need to prove that AP is equal to CP. I'll make some space and try to explain how I'm going to prove this. Make some space. Okay. So AB is equal to CD. This whole AB is equal to CD. Now let AB is equal to CD is equal to L. L be the length of the chord. Now if you understand, E is midpoint of AB, therefore AE is equal to L by 2. Similarly, F is midpoint of CD, therefore AFC is equal to L by 2. I hope it is clear. This is L by 2 and this is L by 2. So if you understand the logic, all I need to actually prove is that if EP is equal to PF, this EP is equal to PF, then I'll have proved that AP, this whole of AP, is equal to PC. So now my agenda will be just to prove that EP is equal to PF. And how I do it is, I join these two points. I have two triangles. I know that this distance OE is equal to this distance OF. Why? Because chords are equal. AB is equal to CD. Therefore, distance of chords, distance of equal chords from center of a circle is equal. So this distance OE is equal to OF. So I'll mark this as equal. This angle is 90. This is the common side. So I can use a right angle, hypotenuse and side. Once I have used this, you will understand that what I have proved by CPCT is that EP is equal to PF. This is what I have proved. I hope it is clear. Just to make things clear, I'll write it here. Triangle OEP, I have proved it congruent to triangle OPF by RHS. Therefore, I proved that EP is equal to PF by CPCT. Also, I know that AE is equal to FC. If I add these two, then EP plus AE is equal to PF plus FC. Now EP plus AE, EP plus AE is whole of AP, and PF plus FC is whole of PC. This is what is required, and this is what I have proved. Also, AB is equal to CD. This is given. Therefore, if this is 1 and this is 2, and I subtract 1 from 2, I hope you are able to see the result. If I subtract, if I do 2 minus 1, then you will see AB minus AP is equal to CD minus PC. Now AB minus AP will be equal to PB, and CD minus PC would be equal to PD. Now this is the second result. I hope this is clear. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 6. In a circle of radius 10 centimeter, this circle is of radius 10 centimeter. Radius is 10 centimeter. AB and CD are two parallel chords. So this chord is parallel to this chord, of length 16 centimeter and 12 centimeter. So this is 16 centimeter and this is 12 centimeter. Calculate the distance between the chords if they are on the same side of the center. So first case is same side of center. So they are on the same side. The second case is they are on the opposite side. So this would be the center. Here they are opposite sides of the center O. Okay. Again, interesting question. I'll join this. As is obvious, radius is 10 centimeter. So this will be 10, this will be 10, this will be 10, this will be 10. As done in the first question, this is the perpendicular distance because I want to find the distance between this point and this line. So this is the perpendicular distance. Again, if I want to find the distance between this point and this chord, again this will be the perpendicular distance. By definition, the distance between a point and a line is always the perpendicular distance. So this is a definition. Okay. Now this line and this line are parallel, and these two are 90 degree. So this is a transversal. That implies, if I MON, this implies that MON is a straight line. Is a straight line. You can also call it as transversal. Yeah. Okay. Now, by the properties of circles, we also understand that this would be equal to this. So this will be 8 and this will be 8. And this will be equal to this. I'll write AM is equal to MB is equal to 8. Here CN is equal to ND is equal to half of the length of the chord. So this will be 6 centimeter. So this will be 6 centimeter. And now I think it should be obvious that this will be 10 square minus 8 square, Pythagoras. So 100 minus 64, 36 is equal to 6. So this will be 6. Again, this by Pythagoras would be equal to 10 square minus 6 square. 100 minus 36 is equal to 64. Root is 8. So this will be 8. And I hope now it is clear that the distance between these two parallel chords is the distance between these two parallel chords on the opposite side of the center O is equal to 6 plus 8. Why? Because this is 6, sorry, this is 8. So 6 plus 8 is 14 centimeter. Now let us take this example. Now if you apply the same argument, again I'll join these two. They are absolutely the same as we have done previously. Same arguments I'll be applying, and I'll name this as this point as the same A, B. This point would be M. Again, center of CD would be N. Now if you follow the same logic, this AM as was here is 8. Again this MB is 8. The same logic is happening. This CN is 6. Again this is 6. Now if you see this triangle, if you see this OA as was here, OA is 10, this is 10, this is 8, so OM as was happening here would be 6. So this is 6, OM is equal to 6. And now if you see this, triangle, again OD as was happening here, OD is 10, whole of this is 10. whole of ND, as was happening here also, ND is 6. So this means that ON, as happened here also, ON, this one, would be equal to 8, and the distance between these two would be 8 minus 6. Therefore MN is equal to 8 minus 6 is equal to 2. This distance would be 2. So distance between these two parallel chords, when they are on the same side of the center, is equal to 2 centimeter. I hope this question is clear to you. Let's move to the next question. Okay, so question number 7. O is the center of the circle with radius 20 centimeter. The radius is 20 centimeter. OD is perpendicular to AB. Okay, this is the perpendicular. AB is equal to 30 centimeter. AB is 32 centimeter. This is 32 centimeter. Find the length CD. I need to find the length CD. Okay, let's start. Okay, same things would be happening again and again. These are if you have done the ABC exercises well, you will be easily be able to do these questions. Okay, so one obvious thing that should be clear is that because radius is 20 centimeter, OD is equal to 20 centimeter. I hope you can see that. So this OD is 20 centimeter. So this and this are also the radii. So OA and OB are also the radii. So this will be 20 centimeter. This will be 20 centimeter. Now length of the chord is 32 centimeter. The total length is 32 centimeter. So this is also the side bisector. So this will be 16 centimeter. And OC would be square root of 20 square minus 16 square. 20 square minus 16 square. Now you can use Kelsey also, but there is another trick which, if you are interested, I'll show it to you. See, I can write this as 20 plus 16 into 20 minus 16. Why? Because this is a square minus b square. So a square minus b square is equal to a plus b into a minus b. So I can write this as 36 into 4. I can write this as 4 into 9 into 4, and this will be equal to 4 are common, so I have 4 outside, 9 I have 3, so this will be equal to 12. So this distance OC is equal to 12. So this distance is 12 centimeter. OC is equal to 12 centimeter. Now, as is obvious, CD will be equal to 20 minus 12 is equal to 8 centimeter. Again, I hope it is clear. Let's move to the next question. Okay, question number 8. AB and CD are two equal chords. So AB and CD are two equal chords of a circle. P is the midpoint of chord AB. P is the midpoint. So see, AB is equal to CD. P is the midpoint of AB, and Q is the midpoint of chord CD. This again is the midpoint. Now I hope it is clear that AB is equal to CD, therefore AP is equal to PB is equal to CQ is equal to QD, because these halves would also be equal. This will be equal to this, will be equal to this, will be equal to this. POQ is equal to 150 degree. This is POQ is equal to 150 degree. Find APQ. You have to find APQ. Okay. So let's find APQ. I'll join this line. So I need to find this. Okay. Again, you should be clear about the theorems which are there in this chapter. Now, OP, point P is midpoint of AB, and P joins. Okay, let me write P is joined to O. Now this implies that PO would be perpendicular to AB, one of the theorems. So this would be perpendicular to AB. Again, this will be perpendicular to CD. Now if you see this triangle, now this angle is 150. This side is equal to this side, because distance of, okay, let me draw it here. Okay. See this ABP, and you'll understand the logic also. I'll prove the theorem here only. Now if I join this and I join this, now just look at the triangles OPA and triangle OPB. I'm trying to prove the theorems. Okay. So this is equal to this. This is the common side. This is equal to this, because P is the midpoint. P is midpoint. Now this implies that this triangle is congruent to this triangle. Why? Because of SSS. Now once these two triangles are equal, this angle would be equal to this angle, and because this angle and this angle form a linear pair, therefore this angle will be 90 degree. I hope it is clear. So this angle is equal to this angle is 90, and that is what I have mentioned here. Again, please try to see that if there is another chord which is equal to AB, if there is another chord CD which is equal to CD is equal to AB, what you need to understand is that because these two chords are equal, again if I have another midpoint Q which joins these two circles and you join them, I hope you will be able to understand that triangle QOC, this triangle, is congruent to triangle OAP. Why? Because this is equal to this. They are both radii. This angle is equal to this angle because both of them are 90, and because the chords are equal, this side will be equal to this side, will be equal to this side. So what do I have? By RHS, why RHS? Why RHS? Because this is a right angle, this one is a right angle, this one is a hypotenuse, and this is the side. This side is equal to this side. So these two triangles are congruent, which implies that OQ would be equal to OP. This will be equal to this. These OP and OQ are distance of the chord from the center. This chord from the center, this chord from the center. These two distances are equal. That is why we have said that OP and OQ are equal, and that is why triangle OPQ is isosceles. Now if this is isosceles, then if this is whole of this is 150 degree, this will be 15 degree, and this will be 15 degree. Now whole of this is 90, this is 15, so we are left with 180 minus 90 plus 15, 105. We are left with 75 degrees. 75 degrees. Let us check. 75 degree plus 15 degree, 90 degree plus 90 degree. So this is 75 degree. Same logic. This whole angle is 90 degree. This angle is 15 degree. So this angle is 75 degree. If you are still not able to understand this, I'll request you to have a look at my lecture of exercise 17C. We have done lot of problems that involve this logic. 17C. Okay, let's move ahead. Question number 9. Question number 9 says, okay, again a fair warning that question number 9th and question number 10th, again if you have done exercise 17C, then you will be able to understand them well. I'll request you to have a look at my lecture of exercise 17C. You will understand them well, or there might be some confusion which will remain. So question 9th is AOC is the diameter. Okay, AOC is the diameter. Arc AXB, this is the arc AXB. This is how I am representing the arc. So AXB is half of arc BYC. So this is half BYC. Actually I should draw it like this. I should draw it like this, BYC. Okay. So AXB is half of BYC. Now if you have, again I am repeating myself, if you have done the previous exercise, you will understand that the ratio of the lengths of the arc is the same as the ratio of the angle that these arcs, this arc and this arc, subtend at the center. So if AXB is half of BYC, then theta will be half of this. So I can write this as 2 theta. I hope it is clear that angle BOA would be half of angle POC. So this is theta, this is 2 theta. Now AOC is the diameter, therefore theta plus 2 theta will be equal to 180 degree. Therefore theta is equal to 60 degree. 180 degree upon 3. So this is 60 degrees and this is 120 degree. Okay, next question, question number 10th. Now what this question says is that arc APB by 2 is equal to arc BQC by 3 is equal to arc CRA by 4. Now this seems a bit complicated, and to simplify this, what we'll do is I'll mention whole of this equal to some k, and you'll understand why I am writing it to be some k. Therefore, arc CRA is equal to 4k, arc BQC is equal to 3k, arc APB is equal to 2k. I hope you are getting what I am trying to tell you, that if I want to take the ratio of, let us say, of arc CRA upon arc BQC, so the ratio will be 4k upon 3k will be equal to 4 by 3. Similarly, if I want to say, so we have taken CRA, we have taken BQC, let us say if I want to take ratio of arc CRA to arc APB, so the ratio will be equal to 4k by 2k is equal to 2 by 1. I hope the logic is getting clearer. And we have a theorem which says that the ratio of the arcs are equal to the ratio of the angles that they will be subtending at the center. So if the length of the arc, these are the length of the arc, if the length of the arcs are in the ratio of 4k is to 3k is to 2k, what I can also write is that the ratio of these angles that these arcs subtend at the center will also be in the ratio of 4 is to 3 is to 2. I hope it is clear. And to make the things clearer, let us take the angles as 2 theta, 3 theta and 4 theta. Why? Because length of the arc is the same. The length of the arcs are in the ratio of 4k is to 3k is to 2k. Therefore, the angles will also be the same ratio. The angles will also be in the ratio 4 theta is to 3 theta is to 2 theta. I hope it is clear. This is for arc CRA, this is for arc BQC, this is for arc APB. Now, once I have these, now the question is clear that 4 theta plus 3 theta plus 2 theta is 360. Therefore, theta is equal to 360 upon 359. Theta is equal to 40 degree. So, the individual angles are, this is 80 degree, this is 120 degree, and this is 160 degree. I hope the solution is clear. BOC is 120 degree. So the answer is 120 degree. I hope you are able to understand all these questions. Again, at the end, I'll request you to watch my earlier videos also. I have detailed video about ICSA stoichiometry also at my channel partners YouTube. You can also find detailed videos on trigonometry. He has done a detailed series on trigonometry also, so please have a look at that also. Thank you.